All right, the White House has officially declared the threat from fentanyl and other drugs pouring across the southern border as an emergency. Joining us now for more, former DEA Special Ops Agent Derek Maltz back with us on the show on this Friday. Derek, good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to have you back. So we've had 100,000 overdose deaths this year alone. That's a record. By the way, no other country worldwide is dealing with numbers anywhere near that high right now. Did you ever think you'd see a number that high?
No, but when we have a wide open border and we're allowing the Mexican cartels to freely come over into the country and set up their operations throughout America, it's not that surprising. They're very greedy, multi-billion-dollar operation. And now with the migrant smuggling, they're making even more money. So it's really alarming. But on a good note, the president did finally say the word fentanyl and announced this national emergency. The DEA reported amazing results yesterday in their one pill can kill operation. I mean, just in the last 2.5 months in the phase 2 of the operation, they seized 8.4 million fake pills. Just in Phoenix alone on December 14th, they seized 1.7 million pills.
Wow.
Multi-agency investigation into the Sinaloa cartel resulted in taking nearly 1.7 million pills off the streets. Those pills, along with fentanyl powder, were hidden in homes and storage facilities across the valley.
The pills in front of you are death.
So there's some pretty good momentum right now, Rob, but in reality, this is not going to work if you have a wide open border. It's that simple. It doesn't make sense.
Derek, let me ask you about this. I remember Nancy Reagan in the 1980s. She had her war on drugs. Just Say No, of course, was in my public school. The signs were on the walls. It was somewhat effective. It had its drawbacks, like all programs do. But you just brought up the DEA's program, One Pill Can Kill. They held a press conference yesterday talking about that. Take a listen.
DEA's investigations show that these tragic deaths are not accidents. We know that these overdose deaths are directly caused by Mexican drug cartels that are flooding the United States with deadly fentanyl.
All right, in the 80s, it was Nancy Reagan in the White House taking the lead. Now it's the DEA. How unusual is that? And do we need somebody like Nancy Reagan, like, for example, Dr. Jill Biden, who's a doctor? She got an EED in education. Do you think she should be taking the lead on this new war on drugs?
Look, we have no time waiting for leadership. Leaders have to step up, and the DEA administrator is stepping up. She's taking the lead, which is awesome. But again, it's almost impossible if you have a wide open border because the cartels are just flooding the streets. You heard what she said. The other thing that she said, Rob, which is really, really nice that she brought this up again, social media. All these big tech companies are facilitating the cartel's ability to kill our kids. That has to be addressed by the White House. Now they formed this new transnational crime council now. I don't know if you heard about that order that the White House released on the 15th.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's a bureaucratic process that just takes a lot of time, a lot of meetings, a lot of beltway things. I went through it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, starting with Obama and then into the Trump administration, you have to have a unity of effort with all the agencies, and you have to go and shut down these supply capabilities in Mexico.
Well, Derek,
it's interesting you soft on crime. You see what's happening all over America.
It's interesting that you bring that up, and I agree with you because they're tiptoeing around using specific language. The executive order that the president issued had a lot of different language. Let me read you some of it. He said that they're going to impose sanctions on foreign persons involved in the global illicit drug trade. No mention of where the majority of fentanyl is produced, that's China, and no mention of how it's getting into the United States, and that's across the 4 states that make up our southern border. What'd you make of that?
You know what, Rob? I've been around the Beltway a long time. It's just typical politics. They want to talk a big game, but there's no operational implementation plan. There hasn't been one for many years. They've done some great work in law enforcement, but we need the U.S. government, we need the intel community, the Department of Defense. We need a whole-of-government approach. Now, they claim that an aspect of this new strategy is going to have a whole-of-government approach, but that's what Obama said 10 years ago. So we need some action. We got to stop with the words and the politics.
All right, Derek Maltz, we appreciate you being with us early on this Friday morning. Good to see you again, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.